Hey, welcome to season 2 of Breakfast Talk. Today we are going to be discussing video game news, indie comic news, movie news, what's coming up in crowdfunding in our local indie community, and what we're going to be up to, which is very excited. So check out this episode.
Wakey, wakey, smell those eggs and bakey. It's time for Breakfast Talk, a podcast discussing current, independent, and mainstream entertainment topics, from gaming and movies to comics. Start your week off right with the Breakfast Boys. As always, if you can smell what we're cooking, click that like button, and if your tummies are rumbling for more, click subscribe and ring that brekkie bell to turn on all notifications. All right, let's talk.
To Breakfast Talk.
Breakfast Talk!
Breakfast Talk!
So, Dylan is up first with video game news.
Tell us about it, Dylan.
Well, it's fun for those who are looking to get into like some fun like pop culture stuff. There's a great website called 1:37 p.m. That's currently owned by my man Gary Vaynerchuk. So it's a good one. But yeah, they talk about a bunch of stuff on here, and I was curious when I came across 30 best PS4 indie games. I'm like, oh, I'm curious if I've played any of them, and it's funny because like the first picture is Rocket League, and I'm like, hell yeah!
Oh, nice.
And then I scrolled through the rest of them, and I'm just like, I've never heard of any of these games. I just spent like an hour yesterday going through my own like the PlayStation store of just random, games, and I didn't come across any of these. Like,
Yeah.
So I don't know where this list came from, but now I'm gonna have to check all these out because there is just way too many of these. And I hope that many of them went with the Rocket League mentality of, hey, let's go free and then sell everything else.
That's the way to do it.
Yeah, I think there's only one other one. Yeah, there's one other one that I have played, but I only played this. Yeah, it even says Nintendo. I've only played it on Nintendo. And for those who haven't played Rocket League, I do have to say it's probably one of the best games I've ever played in my life. It's really fun. It's been around since 2015. I even have the established 2015, what's it called, player card or whatever, the player title. So I've been around since the beginning. I did not play the Supersonic Acrobat or Rocket Power Battle Cars, which was the original name. So I think they did good switching it to a little more concise.
That's a bit of a mouthful there.
They started off with that, and then they're like, maybe we just call it like SARPVC, something like that, whatever it was. And then they're like, even that's still a tongue twister. And then they're like, what about just like Rocket? Maybe like they play it.
Brilliant.
So no, it's very fun. This season is the first season I got my champion reward, so I'm pretty excited. The other games I actually did recognize in here, but they're surprisingly low. So like looking at this list, like number 1 is called Void Bastards. I've never heard of it, but now I'm excited because it's the number 1. It came out in May 2019. Developers Blue Manchu, so that's awesome. No, Rocket League is all the way down in like 13, which is crazy.
Oh, wow.
And then the next game that I've ever even heard of is all the way down to, where is this? It's like 23. Where did I go past it? No, here it is. Yeah, 25, which is Overcooked, which is this game.
I play that with my cousin sometimes.
Yeah, I think it's like you're in like a kitchen trying to like make stuff really quick, but sometimes you're like on moving trucks and you got to like move across like while you're on the highway.
Kind of annoying. Yeah, I played with him through Steam, and I'm just like, wow, this is pretty hard to cook.
You know what's pretty awesome is you're talking about like cooking food truck status. I'm literally looking at food trucks right now. Like, I'm in Texas right now, and this is like a food truck event that they have.
Oh, that's awesome.
Yeah, so after this, I'm gonna eat some stuff. So.
Oh yeah.
I'm kind of like, let's wrap it up. I'm hungry. I'm a fat guy.
There's that. There's Fall Guys, which I know that was a big like what's it called? Fad that came around and kind of disappeared. And then like after that, there's like Beat Sabers, but like that's super old. That's like the VR. It says the release date 2019, but I swear that came out like before that.
Yeah, I think that maybe that's just that version. Because I mean, as soon as like VR came out, that was like one of the first games I've ever seen that they had put on the platform. So
yeah, and I had VR definitely before 2019. I had it like because so my cousin got really into VR when it first started popping up everywhere. So not like just when the Oculus came out, but after like it was like the Oculus, the Vive, the PlayStation VR, and then there was another one. And my cousin literally would buy one. I'd play with him for like a week. We'd test out different stuff, and then he'd sell it and buy another one. And he just kept doing that. So we went through literally every like commercial or not commercial, public VR gaming system you could buy. And so, yeah, it was definitely fantastic, but it's just weird that that's even on this list and it says 2019. I think they got to fix this date.
Hey guys, do you mind if I jump to my topic because my battery's gonna die soon? I didn't even notice how low it was.
That's all I have for that. I just thought that was crazy that of a list of like 30 best PS4 indie games, I only recognized 4 of them. I've only played one of them, and the ones I play are so far down the list. It's crazy. It's disappointing.
So yeah, there's a lot of indie titles to check out. That's for sure.
Yeah.
Yeah, we'll put the link in the description.
Absolutely.
I will.
Yeah, I'll be plugging our own indie titles when they have a release date, so just be aware of that. But yeah, so jumping to the next topic is movie news. So it's a lot more pop culture. So I have 3 things that were super interesting, 2 of which are just like something I'm really interested in, which is like it kind of goes fitting with this because I'm in Texas right now. So this is like a Texas-sized monster kind of themed news event. So the first piece of news that I came across was there's actually going to be a Cloverfield sequel. So I actually really loved Cloverfield. I don't know if anybody has seen it, but yeah, it was like a found footage kind of monster movie, which I thought was like super unique. It did throw people off because it was like, shaky camera, weird angle kind of stuff. But I thought it was just super unique. I'd never seen it before, so it was just awesome. Apparently they are going to kind of stray away from the found footage, kind of direction and go more of like a, normal narrative. So that's super cool. I've been waiting for that for quite some time. The movie's been out for like almost 10 years now, which is kind of crazy. And then it is in that same universe of the Cloverfield paradox and the 10 Cloverfield Lane. So I guess they're gonna tie them all in together with this movie. So that's gonna be pretty cool. And then the next big monster movie news is the new Godzilla vs. Kong movie. So there's a rumor that based on like set photos and stuff like that we're gonna get to see Mechagodzilla in this. And yes, and Mechagodzilla is the reason why essentially like Godzilla is the villain in this movie, because they've been painting him out to be the villain. I guess that maybe he's agitated or extra agitated because of Mechagodzilla. I don't know, but basically it's a rumor. They had some set photos where you see like kind of like a diagram in the background, so that was pretty cool. And then also,
is this is a follow up to King of the Monsters, right? It's the same Godzilla.
Yep.
Oh, yeah, they called it.
They're creating like a whole monsterverse. So they have they have like 17 different monsters. They're gonna go through all these different monster movies and stuff like that, just like the original. So I thought that's pretty awesome.
Dude,
but another
cool Assemble thing, with Godzilla.
For real, that's exactly what they're doing.
I'm so excited.
So another cool thing is they're rumoring that Kong is actually going to have an axe. So I don't know how that's going to work, but maybe he has this. Like Monarch gives him like a cool axe or something like that. I don't know, but so super cool news on that front. And then back around to the MCU, like you were just referencing. So Spider-Man 3, there's some rumors. So we've already heard that Dr. Octopus and then Electro from the previous like Tobey Maguire universes. Well, actually, from each universe. So you got the Andrew Garfield and then Tobey Maguire. So they're going to be the 2 villains, or they're going to be villains. I don't know if they're going to be main villains, but so those are already established. But then some new rumors from set photos as well. Is you have a tie-in with the actual game, the new Spider-Man game, or both Spider-Man games. So you see some set photos and they say Feast, or they have Feast in the background. So one of the rumors is that you're going to get to see Mr. Negative come because he's obviously like one of the main villains in the game universe. And then he's the director of Feast. So you kind of have those 2 tie-ins. So they're thinking that might be a 3rd villain, which I actually thought like they were trying to stay away from, because like the first, couple of movies all had like 3 villains and they were just a little like messy. So I'm guessing this movie is going to be a bit longer than the other 2, and it's going to have, since it's going to be a Spider-Verse movie, they're just going to dive into the different villains that come from these different universes. And I guess Mr. Negative is going to be the Tom Holland villain of this universe, or this movie. So
what's super exciting about that too is that I was watching a YouTube video about the fact that within the last like couple of years. Who's the guy that's been running the MCU? What's his name again?
Feige.
Yeah, Feige. So basically, he now also has complete creative control over the Marvel Comics universe, which means he now controls all of the stories of Marvel. And
Yeah.
so he's basically like the replacement of Stan Lee, essentially, in the sense that he is now the voice of Marvel. And the thing that's been rumored is that what they're going to try to do is not only collide all of the Marvel movies that have been made, right? They want to have like the Tobey Maguire, all those, have those worlds collide for like an end of days, like way greater than the threat of Thanos. It's from this being called, I think it's like the Dark Force or something like that, where it's this thing that swallows the universe and starts it over again. It literally destroys the entire universe, and Thor is one of the people that is supposed to fight him. And
convenient writing, I would say.
yeah, and it's one of those things where that's part of that being rewritten again in the latest comics, almost like a test run for the movies. And the fact that the games might tie in it as well. I've heard rumors that multiple Spider-Mans, not just the ones from the movies, might make an appearance in these newest, not probably not what's it called, Phase 4 or Phase 5, whatever the thing, no, or Phase 4, but maybe Phase 5 or 6 as it comes out might start entering from multiple universes.
Well, we are getting another Into the Spider-Verse movie as well. So that's going to be pretty interesting where they, again, how that ties into the properties that are in play right now.
Yeah, and that was one of the things is that supposedly the Into the Spider-Verse is like canon amongst the MCU in the sense that that universe has been acknowledged.
Yeah.
Yeah, so it's very exciting.
There's also photos, I think, or just rumors of set photos that Charlie Cox, the Daredevil from Netflix, is going to be in it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The only thing I saw like about that was like it was like CBR, like comic book resource. So I'm always very like skeptical of when they put out articles because they're like the clickbait king of the comic
like
universe.
The TMZ of the comic book world.
Yeah, exactly. So I'm always skeptical, but I did see it from multiple sources. But you never know; it could be clickbait. It could just be rumors that they try and build up the franchise or whatever. Just kind of build up the movie title. But I really, really do hope, and I think. I think he has enough fan following, and this Daredevil has enough fan following that he could even have his own property movie. Like he can have a standalone movie, or they can integrate him into the universe in some way, like through an Avengers or a Defenders kind of remix or remake or something like that, where you see him. But I think again, like the Spider-Verse maybe just is an easy way to have him there because he's a New York-based, kind of hero, and then you have different universes colliding. So it just might be a really convenient way for him to kind of jump into this, MCU. So super exciting too to see. I love Charlie Cox. I think he's the best thing to happen to Daredevil franchise like ever in terms of the cinematic stuff.
Yeah.
I do want to see our Luke Cage and our Jessica Jones continue as well. I'm not so keen on our Iron Fist, but I think that we could definitely see more of the Luke Cage and Jessica Jones in this MCU as well.
Yeah, and Iron Fist, I feel like they could always keep him, but if anything, he might become potentially almost a joke character if he's in the background, or become more like the DC universe, like the Arrowverse, where like Constantine kind of got like one season, disappears, but he's been in the show after.
Yeah.
So it could be one of those things where hopefully they don't eliminate him, but like it would be cool to still, if they play around with them enough and maybe make something cool out of it.
For indie comic news, there's a studio called YouNeek, like U, and then NEEK Studios. They have a whole African superhero universe that they came up with, and they partnered with they're partnering with Dark Horse. And Dark Horse is doing 10 titles of their characters for this whole situation they got going on. So that's pretty cool to see like an indie publisher become a little bigger.
So is YouNeek Studios going to be like what's it called? Like there's like Aftermath Records with Dr. Dre, and then like Slim or Eminem has like his Shady Records. Is it going to be like that where like they're under them? or is it going to be like they're getting?
I think they're. I think it's just like a partnership type thing for the 10 titles, and then they'll probably walk away after that.
That's interesting. Yeah, I wonder if they'll kind of like split royalties on it or something like that. That's pretty cool.
Now, crowdfunding to look out for February is February 1st. This is going to come after February 1st, but
is that when it launches?
Yeah. The first one to look out for is One Last Job, which is a espionage comic by Catalyst Comic Studio, and that's just if you like spies, and it's just black and white, so it actually looks pretty cool.
No, link in the description. I try. That's
and then Chefs, which is coming out the 15th, which that's probably closer to when this will come out. That will be on Kickstarter, and that's done by Tyler Carpenter, who also has the YouTube channel Draw and Talk. So his comic it's kind of like, it looks like young adult-ish, but it's not. He said that it's not like that much like that, and it's called Chefs, and then I think the first one is called Pasta La Vista.
Pasta La Vista.
And I think he has issue 0, which you can read by going to like his YouTube or whatever. I'll link it in the description. And you can actually read the issue 1, which is the appetizer issue, and then that's issue 0, and then issue 1 will be on Kickstarter. Yeah. And it's gonna be. I
love puns.
I think it's a 3 or 5 course meal that he's doing for that, and then after
awesome.
That, yeah.
So is it gonna end with the desserts?
I think so.
Desserts.
I think he actually says something like that in a video.
Yes. Oh God, I love it. So I see that the title's all capitals. Is it acronym or is it just all caps?
Yes. I completely forgot what it stands for, but it does stand for something.
Nice.
Culinary Hero Earth Force something. I'm probably like butchering that.
Society.
Yeah, something with the S.
Oh, that's awesome though. Culinary heroes eliminate foreign suspects. There's a bunch of stuff you can do with that. It's great.
Yeah, but yeah, he got all punny with it, and yeah, I'll back both of those anyway. So you guys should all check that out. And then what we have going on our end is we just launched this thing called Nova Nation on our website, on our platform. It's $5.99 a month. Link in the description to sign up. You can cancel anytime. The whole thing is like a Patreon type thing.
We basically built our own so that all of the resources will actually go to us and the other creators on our platform. So we didn't want to set up something like Patreon or one of the other sites where obviously they take a portion of the cuts, and then that just takes away from what we can give to our artists and obviously utilize for ourselves to grow the platform so we can then provide more to our artists and creators. So basically the idea is that it's a supportive platform like Patreon, but we built it on our own website. For example, like if we get a certain number of subscribers, we're going to, improve our hosting, increase our speed, allow us to upload faster, give more resources to our creators that are also on our platform. We're going to use it for expanding so that we can get into, like animations, maybe help support. So we're building our own video game, which I believe, I don't know if you wanted to mention that later, but that's something that we're working on. And we can also then expand that to other creators as well, what we can help and offer them with.
Yep. Yeah, we got all that going on with that. It's also going to have like a crowdfunding aspect, just like Patreon does. A portion of the money from the subscription will be going towards paying to get our next issue of Ink out. Ink is a title that people really wanted. So we had issue 1 come out a year or 2 ago. I think it was 2019. Yes. And that was like, some people think that's issue 0. I had 1 or 2 people say that because it's mostly just an origin story, and it is short, but the second issue is coming out. It is a little longer. It's just starting with getting edited. But yeah, a lot of people liked it, and I wasn't even thinking it was going to be like horror-esque, but enough people said, "Oh, I like the horror vibe to it," so I ran with that, and now it has like a horror kind of feel to it. Scales are our new Soul series. That's on to coloring. Our colors is almost done coloring, so all we have to do is letter it, and then the digital reward of that will be going to Kickstarter backers from our last Kickstarter that funded last year. The Seer Chronicles and Chronicles of Horror. First, the Seer Chronicles issue 1 is like halfway done. It's going a little slower than I would like, but our art team is busy with other things. And Chronicles of Horror should be mailed out very soon. By this time this video is out, it should be going to people's houses, or very close to that stage, because issue 2 is on the way. The writing is all done. It's like coming. So yeah. We actually have Breakfast Talk mugs, which you should get. And other merchandise like that beanie that he has on his head. He's not wearing, but it's on his head.
Yeah, definitely. If you want to sign up for our Nova Nations, feel free to go to the website SeerNovaComics.com / I think it's /Nova-Nation. I think that'll bring you to a buy page. If not, just go to our homepage, and we'll have something there so you can check it out. And then if you also want to support us, you can buy merch, which is fun. It's cold out. Put a hat on.
It's freezing.
Get some fun stuff.
Yeah. So thanks for coming to season 2 of Breakfast Talk.
Breakfast Talk. Where is he?
He's gone. He's too busy eating at a food truck.
You better be enjoying that food truck. Cheers.
All right. We'll see you on the next episode.